Hi, my name is James Marsh. This is the first in my CCNA Simple series. The goal of this series is to do a quick examination of topics that I've seen a lot of CCNA students have trouble with. We're going to start with finding the root bridge. And I have seen many students get absolutely confused when working within spanning tree protocol, which generates a root bridge to prevent layer 2 switching loops. We're going to simplify that. I'm not going to go into great depth to the theory. There's a lot of sources for that are much better teaching this than I am. But I do want to show an applied exercise where we can find the root bridge, we can track it down. Now, the scenario here is that we have a switched network. We're new to it. We don't know our way around. And we've been given two goals: to find the root bridge for VLAN 10, the root bridge for VLAN 20. And we're instructed to start here. So let's do that. We're going to pull up switch 1, and we're going to hop into the CLI to have some fun. Go into privileged mode. And one thing that I want to emphasize here, if you're studying for your CCNA or learning networking, know your show commands. Understand how to pull them up. Understand what they're telling you. It is absolutely essential. So the first thing we want to do, since we're trying to find our root bridge, let's take a look at our spanning tree. And it helps if I type it correctly. Okay, so we have spanning tree on VLAN 1. Now we have spanning tree on VLAN 10. That's good, but VLAN 20, VLAN 55, 66, that is a lot of information to dig through here. How can we make this a little bit simpler? Let's take a look here. What else can we add to this command to narrow down the information that we're getting? Type a question mark. Looking for VLAN 10, so let's add VLAN here. And it wants to know the VLAN number. Yes, this is much easier to look through. You can see that we're seeing the spanning tree configuration for VLAN 10. It shows it here also. Now, if this was the root bridge, right up in this area, there would be a statement saying this bridge is the root. There's another way that we can determine that this is not the root bridge. It seems a little paradoxical, but the root bridge will never have a root port. A root port is a port that points towards the root bridge. So we can tell that this is not a root bridge for VLAN 10. However, we can tell that Fast Ethernet 01 is pointing in the direction of the root, the general direction. We go back to our network here. We see Fast Ethernet 01 connects us to switch 0 right here. So let's take a look at switch 0. Close this out. Switch 0. Enable to get into privileged mode so that we can do our show commands. We can tell immediately this is not our root bridge, again, because it has a root port. Remember, the root bridge will never have a root port. So we know that we can get closer to our root bridge if we follow this interface right here, Fast Ethernet 011. We see it, and that points to switch 3. Let's pull it up. And I'm not even going to look here. I can see that we have a root port. So this is not the root bridge. I see the root port goes out Fast Ethernet 021, points down here to switch 6. And I take a quick glance down here. I don't see any root ports. In fact, this tells me right here, this bridge is the root. We see right here that we're looking at VLAN 10. We have found a root bridge for VLAN 10, which is half of the assignment done. Very straightforward. Again, a root bridge will never have a root port. Let's find the root bridge for VLAN 20. Now, the root bridge for VLAN 20, it could be the same bridge as for VLAN 10. It might not be. In this case, we start back here at switch 1, show spanning tree VLAN 20. Nothing in this area says that this is the root bridge, and we notice we have a root port. So what we're going to do, we're going to follow where this is pointing us to. Fast Ethernet 02, which goes to switch 2. Now, this is a good indicator that this root bridge for VLAN 20 is probably not the same one as for VLAN 10. See what we can find out. And again, not the root bridge, but we can tell that if we go out Fast Ethernet 011, we're going to be moving in the direction of the root bridge. Fast Ethernet 011 leads to switch 5. We're still not there. We still have a root port, but we've got to be getting closer. We see that Fast Ethernet 021, which is right here, points in the direction of the root bridge. So we'll go into switch 8. We'll open it up. Back to privileged mode so we can run our show commands very easily. Now, as soon as you do this, you can immediately see that this is the root bridge for VLAN 20 because there's no root ports. We confirm that we're looking at VLAN 20. And we also have this helpful statement, this bridge is the root. It is important when you do labs that you do them 2 or 3 times so that you get very familiar with what you're doing, what the show commands are, what the output of those show commands tells you. Now you're watching a video, so you don't have access to this lab. I'm going to show you how you can recreate this lab really easily. And I'll do it in this white space that's on this side of my window. You just go down here to your switches. You choose a 2916, drop it in, and you can make this as vast or complicated as you want. And we go down here, we use a crossover cable, we connect all these switches. It doesn't really matter which ports that we plug our cables into. And we make sure that each of these devices are connected to each other. And we can go down here and fast forward, let all these ports come up. And you can go through the exact exercise that I just went through, and you can do this on your own. All right, thank you for watching my video. Have a good day. I believe my next video is going to be on how to interpret the data from the IP routing table. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.